Hello everyone, and welcome back to T90 Titans League, the Community Edition. I'm TheNando, and I'm very excited to bring you some more action, some more Age of Empires action. And today I will be covering the losers bracket. This is the Titanian losers bracket. In fact, I was about to say we can check the group stages and see how these players performed. But one of the players, God's Prisoner, is from the Titanium bracket. Rudidarin Zidane is from the Obsidian bracket. And Saluven, bonjour, ça va bien? Welcome, welcome. Today, my stream will be a little bit more on the shorter side, because tomorrow I have a flight, and I did want to stream today, but probably just one set, something real quick. And I see Felon on Twitch already. How are you doing, then? How are you doing, Felon? Hope you're having a wonderful week. Lately, I've been doing great. Busy, but for good reason. Working a lot of cool stuff, having a lot of successes. I felt like during a period I was having, I don't want to call them failures, but I was having a lot of setbacks, and now I've been having way more successes, which feels nice. And streaming before taking a flight by the Chad. True, and it's just because the only reason why I'm doing it is because I wanted to stream. And other than having the flight today, it is ReZero. Okay, it is ReZero Wednesday, so I was also watching ReZero before the stream. It was such a busy day, busy but with good stuff. Also went to the gym this morning because I'm working on becoming Buff Nando. I need to get a Buff Nando model once I have my gains. This was my 4th training, and I feel great so far, and I feel motivated. Whenever you start a new journey, a new task, a new personal endeavor, like imagine you want to be the #1 in Age of Empires. The first steps on your climb, when you decide, okay, from now on, this is my mission. The first week should be focused on enjoyment. I will get swole, yes, and I'm enjoying working out on the gym a lot. Of course, I'm accompanied by a trainer to make sure that I'm doing proper forms and everything, because I have no experience, and doing improper gym work can be a good way to get injuries. But I do believe if you're starting something, if you're starting a journey, if you're starting to cast, focus on being comfortable, focus on enjoying, because the most important thing is creating routine, and a good way to create routine is enjoying what you are doing. #1 Age of Empires. Nice. Mage of Empires, yes. I was about to say, imagine a fantasy Age of Empires, but we have fantasy strategy games, but none of them have the Age of Empires vibe to it. Because for the Warcraft and Starcraft have the similar-ish vibe. One is fantasy, one is sci-fi. I don't think we have any... There's not a lot of games, nowadays at least, that follow the Age of Empires formula to a T. I mean, there's not a lot of RTS games in general nowadays, sadly. The main one that I see excited, one day I need to cast a game of that, Beyond All Reason. I have a morbid curiosity about that game. If you don't know Beyond All Reason, it is a game where what happens does defy all reason. You can get matches of 100 players versus 100 players. It's crazy. And it does break the boundaries of gaming. But let's announce that I'm casting this set. Okay, everything is correct. We can yap a little bit more, and then I'll move on to the draft. And yeah, talking about the journeys and everything, I have been playing a little bit, just a tad bit, of Age of Empires offline. I'm now a scout player, no longer an archer player, but I do prefer casting by a big margin nowadays. I really enjoy Age of Empires as a commentator, as a caster. It also frees... That's something I'm always working on the craft. Casting frees me to be able to chat with chat more. I need to use that power more. It's good to be focused in the game, but for example, you need to take lessons from the biggest casters. T90 is a master at casting and covering the game, but he also knows how to squeeze in a good old chicken story when he can, and that's important. That's why sometimes I should oscillate more towards the low elo game and have streams where Age of Empires is the background. However, this is indeed TTLC. It ends next week, so I'll be back next week to cover the finals. It is an event, and I do feel like I have a duty to uphold as a caster when I'm covering an event. And I like that sense of honor, that sense of obligation, that sense of, okay, I'm here, I have an obligation, I have a duty, I have a logo there, the TTLC logo, I'm part of T90's community, so I have a standard to uphold. I like the feeling of that. I don't feel like that's a burden that weighs me as an obligation. It's not something that is bad. No, it's more of a badge of honor, in my opinion. But let's move on to the draft. I do like my yappies, but I will have my flight after the stream. So, not after the stream, it's not like direct. I'm not that crazy. But I will have a flight soon. We are starting on Quarry. And then we have for God's Prisoner, African River and High Tide. And for Zidane, we have Stranded and Zimbabwe. And this is a match where there's quite a heel disparity. Zidane is the clear favorite here. So if I'm God's Prisoner, I try to be as disruptive as possible. African Rivers is a good map for that disruption. We are starting in Quarry, which is one of the least chaotic of the maps, in my opinion, nowadays at least. I think these maps, the metas oscillate. I feel like in Quarry, I haven't seen too much dank stuff. And okay, let me go over the sieves. We have God's Prisoner does not like the new sieves, Tupi, Mapuche, Muisca. My opinion of the bans, this is my own strategy opinion. If you want to ban Tupi, Mapuche, and Muisca, maybe your opponent wants to ban them as well. I would leave them for my last bans. If I'm the one banning, if there's a sieve, for example, Mongols, I would pick out the 6 sieves I want to ban. That's how I draft. I would go like 12 sieves I want to ban. And then with 2 lists, pick the priorities and also pick which ones are more likely that my opponent bans. For example, maybe 2P I don't want at all. So it will be like in my 5th or 6th position on the list because I don't want at all, but it is possible that my opponent bans them. But that's just me. And of course, these players have been eliminated from the main tournament, so now they are more playing for the enjoyment, but there's still honor in being hailed as the king of the losers. So we have Tupi, Mapuche, Muisca band, the new sieves, Bohemians, Chinese, and Spanish as well, all powerhouses, especially Chinese. I think Chinese is a must ban. On the other side with Zidane, we have Khitans, Mongols, also makes sense. Saracens, Cumans, Japanese, and Vikings. Okay. And in terms of sieves, we have Italians, Romans, Byzantines, Dravidians, Burgundians, and Goths. For God's Prisoner, and for Zidane, we have Koreans, Wu, Berbers, Maya, Wei, and Georgians. I'm so far from having counter picks and thinking 5 steps ahead on drafts. I just try to get sieves I know how to use. Yeah, and I mean, I'm a retired player as well, the 1100, so what do I know about drafting? But that's one of the reasons why also I'm retired from now at least. It's because whenever I played in the tournaments, I would study my opponents, I would study the draft, I would always have a plan, a second plan, and a third plan. That's how I tackled these tournaments. Always took them very seriously as a player. Okay, Italians, Romans, Byzantines, Dravidians, Burgundians, Goths. So, a lot of sieves that can be played on any map, to be honest. Like, I feel like Italians, maybe for High Tides or Stranded, Dravidians as well. Life is too short to do that amount of homework for a video game. True, I understand that. I do understand that. But at the end of the day... Oops, sorry, I punched my mic. I hope it wasn't too bad for everyone listening. At the end of the day, I did it also because it was enjoyable. I took the tournament seriously because it was enjoyable. So if you're living life, you should spend it on things you enjoy. And if you enjoy being a sweaty nerd like I do, go for it. Mike Punch was fine. Thank you, Fallon. Let's go for map number 1, Quarry. I don't think I'll gain much from over analysis. And for Quarry, I like Burgundians because you can tend for a boomy situation, and Burgundians excel in that. On the other side, it's harder because a lot of civs are great in everything. I think you save Georgians for maps where the churches can provide defense for your villagers. Maybe Wu. I would say Wu versus Burgundians. Now let me load up the match here in Capture Age. Oh, let's go. I can read the high-low players. And let's hop into the match. Hello everyone, and welcome back to T90 Titans League. This is the highest of the loser brackets, and we are already in the semifinals. We have two very strong players, some of the strongest players in the competition, who sadly got eliminated during the group stages. But for those who want a little bit more, they're like, groups were fine, but I want to play more. I want to enjoy the joys of Age of Empires. We do have the losers bracket, where people are fighting for one last chance of glory, the chance to be the king of the losers, and also to enjoy the game itself. And in the blue color, in the northern side of Quarry, we have Zidane, who is leading the Wu. And in the southern side, in the aggressive red color, we have God's Prisoner commanding the Burgundians. And all sets of Age of Empires tell a story. This story today is a story of an underdog versus a powerhouse. There's a 300 elo gap, and at this elo, that means that God's Prisoner is an underdog. But it is winnable. It is hard. I've seen even bigger upsets. And you always need to remember, for example, Tofu is the highest elo of the entire tournament. He lost to Nili, and Nili is already out. So some players are just very good in the ladder. The elo is gained from the ladder, and that doesn't always mirror the tournament experience. Oh, I can explain that very easily, D1100, because there's two compounding effects happening here. First is that this is the highest bracket. The highest and the lowest bracket are always the ones with the biggest elo disparity. And also because they weren't in the same bracket. Zidane was from the Obsidian bracket. God's Prisoner was from the Titanium. However, when the admins are creating the losers bracket, since they sometimes don't have enough registered players to create a full bracket from the original ones, they mix up brackets. So these two players were not competing in the same bracket. They are in the same losers bracket in the main tournament. Zidane was in the highest bracket, the Obsidian. God's Prisoner was in the second highest bracket. So God's Prisoner does have a chance to topple a giant here. Let's see how things go. Yeah, I'm glad I can explain this clearly because I did my homework and informed myself. Do your research, casters. You sound way more clever if you do your research and you have your answers prepared. And then people see that you are competent and they leave a follow and a like and a subscribe. And then you do shameless self-promotion and they no longer feel compelled to follow. I do apologize. I do humbly apologize, but I am in a great mood today. The Burgundians are one of those civs that break the rules of Age of Empires. That used to be a very big statement. Now I feel like there's like 10 civs that break the rules, but Burgundians are one of them. And the rule that they break is the eco upgrades. We already see double beat axes in for the Burgundians. It usually means a later... Okay, calm down, players. I'm explaining the Burgundians. Hold on a sec. They had to pause. What it means for the Burgundians is that you often get a little bit later to Feudal Age. Ooh, that was a little bit of a... But you get there stronger. Your economy, since you have the eco upgrades earlier, starts snowballing. And it's one of the sieves that you need to... You need to know how to play them to take the most out of their advantage. It's like, you can do a generic build order, but if you know how to squeeze the maximum efficiency out of the Burgundians, you're even stronger. AoE2 has no rules anymore. True. There's mobile resources, there's settlement, there's... I mean, I'm waiting for a sieve to... A sieve that's like... has 5 ages or something. Or a sieve with just 3 ages. Has the Imperial Age, and then what would come after the Imperial Age? We see barracks up, militia on one side, militia from both players. Do people just get double B-decks or both decks? Okay, I just went on my spree saying, oh, you need to know the sieves to play them, and a competent caster has all the answers. I do not know if they... What is the Burgundian meta? I think it probably depends on the map. I think, and the opening. I think if you can close the map real quick, you go for both upgrades. Here, you see the militia on the field. I think you focus on military and everything. I think you don't click both upgrades from the get-go. I think it's a situational answer. And hello, Credentost! The Nando and the Nandos are doing great. We are witnessing the Titanic losers, the Titanium losers. Let's see if without a week go. Ooh, the upgrades are about to go in for Zidane, but ooh, he loses 1 militia before the updates are in. That's quite an even battle. Earlier upgrades for 1 player. Ooh, gets away with a scout that's big. Better engagement from the other, so Zidane is slightly ahead, but not by much. He only has 1 man-at-arms that is running to his demise already, and 1 scout that has 1 HP and a dream. I mean, that scout will be useful, don't get me wrong, but that was not a catastrophic defeat. We see archery range, and look at Zidane's wall-in. That's what he gained from being the aggressor, is that he had enough time and space that walling for him is very easy. They both have the same unit comp, but Zidane was slightly faster, also because he's not the Burgundians. And that gives him that slight edge. And we see now Bolsa on the way. And I think that's worth it. You need to time it well, but I think now, at this point, status quo favors the Burgundians. And we see non-stop military production. That's one thing I love about high-low games, is that in most maps, fast castle is no longer a possibility. And I love Feudal Age battles. Ooh, a little bit of a misstep from Zidane there. Our favorite player taking a lot of damage to the TC, and I just heard the scout go down. And Credentos, long time no see. We weren't in a Discord call like 2 minutes ago or any or something. Ooh, weird mics. The audio for the Burgundian sounds a little bit weird on the voice lines. 7-4 for the Burgundians, so a better start for God's Prisoner. And that's why I like these narratives of an underdog versus a favorite player. Now, Zidane is forced to double wall. Feels like we haven't talked in years. True, so true, Credentost. Oh, that villager traps the skirm. I mean, it isn't trapped, but it isn't moving. The archers there really help in adding a little bit more extra pressure. We see Horse Collar now on the way. And the Burgundians are already 200 res collected ahead and have a better Eco KD. But, I mean, some players excel at Feudal Age and everything, and then there's a reason why he isn't entirely low. Maybe he will crumble once Castle Age is reached, or Imperial Age, we will see. For the matchup, I think the Wu are a really strong sieve. I prefer the Burgundians here. The Wu do have the freaking Johns. The John Swordsman, but I prefer Burgundians. On this particular map. And now God's Prisoner getting his own good base layout. Idle TC is at the point where it's insignificant for the match. And God's Prisoner does need to respect. I think he's thinking, okay, I want to go Castle Age, that's what I want to do, but we see archers in the queue, and I think that's a good call. We also see, is that just one archery range? Yeah, just one archery range. That was very efficient, because this is quite a few units, and the skirms will have a great time versus the archers. This isn't fully walled. A little bit of unit... No. Okay. Some micro there, the villager does go away finally. And now the thing about this map is that once you get those walls established, you can take fights that your opponent is downhill. And that's the main advantage you gain from these walls. It's not that in some maps the walls are just an early warning system. Here the walls are great at forcing your opponent to fight uphill. That's quite a significant advantage. Okay, fletching on one side, so God's Prisoner doesn't want to fight this. The eco balance, we see 19 farms, 21 farms. And versus 19. If I'm on 21 farms, I mean, that's also good for a boom, but also for some food-based military, like light cav or militia line. We see more archers here, and he wants to take the engagement. Zidane will try to back away while taking some damage, while dealing some damage to the militia and the archers. God's Prisoner has the army lead. And the militia, the men-at-arms taking the skirms just finally. Oh, nice call there. Saving the low HP militia slash men-at-arms. Ooh, and now keeps the gate open. He needs to move one of them. I mean, they can do. He can go in, but yeah, he would only go into to your demise. And slightly faster Castle Age for God's Prisoner. We do see that the build is archers. So he has how good are Burgundian archers? Yeah, only have crossbow. So they have ballistics. I mean, every sieve has ballistics. No thumb ring? No thumb ring. So this is the unit that you don't want to keep for long. It was your Feudal Age unit. Can do a little bit in Castle Age, but much better option is the Cavaliers. They are the ones who have Cavaliers in... Yes, in Castle Age. Burgundians, they aren't as powerful as they could be. Some people say, oh, it's Cavalier in Castle Age, it's broken. But they are lacking Bloodline. So they are strong, but not broken strong. But still a very good power spike. And we see that the eco, we saw a lot of farms being placed, is already geared up nicely for that calf production. See forging on the way, we saw archer armor. On the other side, we don't see a lot of upgrades, nor a lot of military. What's Zidane's plan? The Johns will not be happy versus Cavalier. They will be happy versus the archers, but not versus Cavalier. And we see Palisade and a siege workshop from God's Prisoner. In this map, in any other map, I would love this siege workshop. I was once beating our base in this map, and I lost because of that. Because a siege workshop invites, I was going to say mirror siege, but it could also be monk play with redemption. And then you're fighting an uphill battle, and you really don't want to fight uphill battles with siege. You see crossbow on the way. Don't lose your archers before crossbow. Those are only skirms, they aren't upgraded, so they are not that powerful. I would like to see a ram. I will prefer a ram, maybe a scorpion and then a ram. I don't want to see a mango here. I know it's probably the best play, and these players are higher elo than me. They know the game better than me. I mean, the mango would be nice to get a flattening shot on the skirms. But I feel like long term... Okay, we do see the mango on the way. Expo, Cavalier, and Siege. Isn't that too many things at the same time? It is quite a lot of things, but at least the crossbow were leftovers. Like, if he was producing more crossbowmans, I wouldn't like... I think the decision that I agree is... Feudal Age is over. Do I have a lot of crossbows? If yes, I upgrade them. If not, I don't. He has 8 crossbows left over, 8 archers, and I feel like 8 crossbows are way more threatening than 8 archers. The 8 is down. Monastery is on the field. I don't think, yeah, Redemption wasn't clicked. But it will be very powerful versus this Cavalier. Yeah, in this map, it's hard to be the attacker. Wheelbarrow, Probold players. And I like the idea of trying to find more venues of attack, try to open more doors. But it's not the attack upgrade for, I guess it's just another level. Yeah, the attack upgrade though, you have to think, like, a lot of players defend the attack upgrade on the arrows because it's not only your crossbows. It's your towers if you add them, it's your castles, and it's your TCs. So the attack upgrade, true, it affects your crossbows, but while the crossbow upgrade, I think it was for these 4 units and then it will go to the trash, the arrow damage upgrade is one that will help you the entire game. And we do see the monks were a little bit miss micro there, and they all get cleared. Oh, there's another monk now. 2 conversions in. That's already quite a significant number. Saves a monk with a TC. And a few, like, all the skirms got down. And ooh, that's a juicy target. Only 1 TC for the Burgundian, so not a lot of booming. There is a price to pay with this attack, but finding some sweet damage. And this is exactly the type of damage you want. You want to clear your opponent's economy. Another villager goes down. These villagers are on the woodline. They are not being microed. Zidane is taking quite a bit of damage here. And this is all about slowing your opponent's snowball. We do see outposts from Zidane on both sides. 3 TCs. But if you lose a lot of villagers... Ooh, delete that. Yeah, monk defense is so powerful. And we see some Johns on the field. And we see monk, it will be monk on monk action. Ooh, a little bit of a miss micro there. Like, there's so many things going on at the same time. And we see that the Vil count is about to topple in favor of Zidane. And if he has better Vil count, he can soon drop a castle. I do think probably God's Prisoner likes to be the attacker. He's my style of player. But this map, I feel like until Imp is reached, really favors the defender. Because God's Prisoner, look at this KD. 42 to 36 to 24-6-0. Eco KD. And even with that stellar performance, Zidane is still in the game. And the conversions are rough because it's not only about the units that you lose, it's also units that your opponents gain. And here I think both will get converted. Will they get deleted? Oh, only 1 conversion. Oh, wait, I want that. Oh, because the monk that was targeting that got the conversion was the one that wasn't the one that was failed. Grabbing some relics with that monastery. You see more monk play. Another conversion is in. Fighting downhill there. Zidane, God's Prisoner though, is doing a superb job with the pressure. I say that this map is hard to be the attacker, and it is. But he's doing a superb job at keeping the damage on. Taking down villagers, then going for the pressure. Even getting light cav now, love the play. Because he knows how much of a threat those monks are. And light cav is the counter, and we do see... Ooh, nice double kill with the mango there. Oh, Mr. Mango. Oh, diving the castle and using the Cavalier to take the that's a great play. Good call. I think this was really good idea to dive the castle, because even if the castle goes up, and GG's called. That was such a good call. That's a type of calls where when T90 is commenting like Hera playing and it's like, oh, any other player would back out from there. I really like this play. The diving with the mango with repair fields to take down the TC. I don't take down the castle villagers. I don't think a lot of players would have that decision on the fly. Remember, playing the game is a lot harder than casting. I thought it was a misclick at first. And it was such a good play. This was a very well-deserved game 1 from our underdog. Focusing on all the right places. Yes, exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself, Grad. GG. What a start to the series. This is not how I expected the series to start. If it goes to 0, maybe then I will have to call Ziran the underdog. Let's go back to the draft. And we have victory for God's Prisoner. And this was the admin choice map. So Ziran and God's Prisoner both still have 2 home maps, so God's Prisoner has a clear advantage. And CJ, hello, welcome to the stream. Map 1 goes to God's Prisoner. God's Prisoner versus Zidan is such a contrast of names. I am the God's Prisoner. Eons have passed since my power. But when and then the other player is like, oh, football player gives headbutt. I mean, that's not all that Zidane did. But I think it's his most famous accomplishment. I mean, calling that an accomplishment. Feat is a better term for what happened. And we do see Burgundians triumphing over the... I also feel like God's Prisoner had a better draft for that map. I feel like Burgundians were superb choice for Quarry. And now, okay, Zidane can go for Stranded Zimbabwe. If it's Stranded, I'm expecting maybe Maya. Maya, the extra villager start and the Metal Sieves are great. So maybe Maya on Stranded versus... Italians? Not Dravidians. Dravidians versus Maya on Strider. That's my call. Oh, thanks, Credit Toast. Let me load up the match. Replay. Oh, it is Zimbabwe instead. So my guesses are already... I would have guessed one of the Thieves for sure. The other, I didn't think enough about it. But let's move on to match number 2. And we are in Zimbabwe. And here, Byzantines are a superb choice, and they are on God's Prisoner's side. We have God's Prisoner in the red color playing with the Byzantines. Once again, I think God's Prisoner is slightly ahead in the draft. Berbers, though, are also great in this map. Ziran is leading the Berbers in this second match. He's behind, but still the favored player in this set. I think Berbers are also good. I slightly prefer the Byzantines, but not by much. Do I have the Elos right? Let me confirm. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Oh no, I was like, it felt very strange. Their elos backwards. No! My narrative! All my build-ups and my amazing ideas and my amazing storytelling. They were flipped. No, the story is ruined. God's prisoner. My mind buffered there for a second, and I'm glad it did. If one of the players shows up, and if you're watching the VOD, any of the players, I apologize for that small mistake. No, here I am saying, oh, I like the pressure of casting a tournament like this. I like, and then I do a blunder like that. Ooh. This seems dangerous. The scouts are there. Ooh. Oh, nice. Oh, I would give up. I would all... No! I give up. And the scout should snipe the villager. Yep. So God's prisoner now is behind. And now we know that God's prisoner... Like, I was shocked that the underdog was playing like that. Oh, started building a house there. Now with the heal, I think Zidane can take it and goes back. So God's prisoner is the favorite player here, and I think he drafted superbly. Byzantines are such a good choice, and so were the Burgundians in the previous set. I'm recalibrating now all of my narratives. And this is sometimes a sunk cost fallacy. You lost a villager, so you go for more. And the scout can see this. That's why players react so quickly to this. After you scouted a region, you have vision of what Gaia is doing there. And this time, God's prisoner will be successful. These rhinos are indeed prisoners of God. Hey yo, by the headbutt. Man, and I was putting so much energy into the cast. I will still put it, but I feel embarrassed by my blunder. I'm going to flip this. I have a flight tomorrow, so you know, I couldn't prep for enough time. Those mistakes make the cast feel like a T90 cast. Let's go. It is true. It is true. Even T90 does blunders. I'd be so bad on this map. Yeah, this map, it is funny. This map has a weird dynamic where a lot of maps where Dark Age is relevant, then Feudal Age is also very relevant and things like that. A lot of maps with aggressive Dark Ages are very open, aggressive. This map has this intensive start with the elephants. It can give you a small advantage, but it often doesn't decide who wins the game. And then the match just slows down massively. Because Castle Age and then Imperial Age tends to happen on this map, and it's more of a closed map. So it has this weird dynamic where the map is both a super fast start and then a super slow start. I wouldn't even try to get them. That's a fair call, and I've seen players just win without the elephants. I feel like if I'm playing this map, the 1100, I'm a huge defender that consistency is more important than flair and things like that. Just to keep my mental energy safe and make sure I'm consistent in everything. I would never go for the elephants, I feel like, here. The crocodile. Oh, nice quick wall. Nice. I went for the extra food on the bottom in my playoff match when my opponent... It gave me a false lead and I was rushed down. Yeah. We see Berbers are slightly ahead in respect, but not by much. Ooh, the God's Prisoner Scout did get trapped in while that was happening. probably was chasing the 2 HP scout. And often, like, if you're low elo, you're like, haha, now I can spy my opponent. You often don't get a lot of information with the scout being trapped in your opponent's walls, and the scout later on can be used to deny relics and everything. So you're not happy. 9 out of 10 cases, you're not happy to get your scout trapped in your opponent's space. And we need to talk about mid to late game. Oh, damn! See, if I was watching this happen with the Elos flip, I would be like, look, these are the reactions of a 2100 Elo walling in the scout. I love that. The thing is, I think about the mental fatigue of doing all of that. I would never go for this much. And the Burbas, I think the market will soon be, and the blacksmith will soon be ready to click up. Byzantines are scary here because of the... First, they are the counter sieve. They have counters to everything. They have cheaper camels, cheaper skirms, cheaper pikes. They're really good at playing the counter game. In the late game then, they have hand cannoneers, bombards, strong castles. So they excel at ruining your opponent's plans. You reach the late game and then you just win. And it's funny because Berbers have cheaper stable units, including cheaper camel. But then you have Byzantines on the other side who have an even bigger discount on camels. So Berbers are usually strength in number the sieves. They are the strength in number horse edition. They have strength in number archer edition, which was the Maya, now the Tupi as well. Strength in number infantry edition, which is the Goths. And Berbers are strength in numbers cavalry edition. But Byzantines, like if it's cavalry versus cavalry, camels excel. And Byzantines are the one sieve that can have more numbers than the Berbers. Fully upgraded. No, lacking bloodlines. Light edge for the Berbers there. Always nice to check the tech trees. I want to reach the point where I don't even need to. It's like, bam, I know it. And also lacking the final upgrade. The final attack upgrade. The scout. Getting both eco upgrades. Both are doing the same build with the Berbers being slightly ahead. And I do wonder if we see like 1 or 2 TCs here right away. None of them move to stone. This map, you have to do the expansion points. Ooh, I think this villager was disruptive here. Nice reaction. Ooh. Oh, that's... I mean, you can delete. Wall yourself in. Ah, it just cancelled. That would be such a cheeky play. The stables in your opponent's face. Berbers are the first to age up, and we see already a town center on the way. In terms of unique units, in this matchup, I do prefer the Camel Archer to the Cataphract. Cataphract is extremely situational, and I don't think this is a game where they will have the situation to shine. Both of them going for the extra TC. Starting that boom. Ah, deletes the good call. Deleting the scout. Already adds another one, so there's a stable on the field. Berbers with a slight wheel lead. But 30C for the Byzantines. And a lot of closed maps are about who booms more, who booms better. Yeah, sadly Cataphract are not used very much as a BD as they look super cool. And I've lost a tournament match because I didn't build Cataphracts. They are a situational unit, and that means that in the specific situations that they're made for, they can excel, which is countering infantry. You make them against, like, archers. For example, they are just super underwhelming. But they do look cool. I mean, at least they're not Teutonic Knights, which look even cooler, but are even more useless. And then you have the Romans. I think the Romans with the Centurion and the Legionnaire are the ones who manage to look badass and be useful at the same time. I think Romans are the best coolness to usefulness ratio. What units do you think they'll make camel spikes for bees and camel CA for Berbers? I think it's hard to say right now because I think it will depend on the timing. Oh, Savar look great. I agree. And they're also very good. And hello, Vexel. Hello. How are you going? Hope Go is going great and all your other endeavors as well. Hope everything's great with the cafe. And Mashugal. Hello, Nando. How are you doing? I'm doing great. I have a flight tomorrow. But I wanted to stream just one set before that. This will be the only set I'll be casting today. Just a short stream. Short yet enjoyable. Twitch planet Venus, Mars, Jupiter. I'm going far. Oh, the monk could get sniped. The scout is very low. Yes, it's just holiday. This time it's just vacations. Not going to any con or anything, just resting. Wheelbarrow on the way, so those Berber villagers will be zooming away. Relics, one in for the Berbers. That's second, and they're already on the way to grab the third one. Byzantines haven't grabbed any relic yet, and the Berbers should scout that. It wasn't scouted, but okay, monk is here. Gaining 5 relics, or 4 at least, is going to be a great advantage if this goes super late. In a map like this, relics are relevant. And hello, Jack the 4th, good morning. Hope you're having a wonderful week so far. We're halfway there. Living on a prayer. We'll make it, I swear. Oh, there's still... Is there 6 relics in this map? Or did I miscount? Oh, you have the flu. Lately? Okay. Important announcement. University makes you sick. I am that kind of person. I tended to get sick all the time. I tend to always get... I used to always get ill. Ever since I finished my PhD, I never got sick again. No flu, no cold, nothing. I'm immortal now that I finished my PhD. I shouldn't be saying that, because usually if you're saying that, then next week I'll be like, hey guys, I need to go on a hiatus. I actually got sick. But so far, like even in Red Bull Wololo, oh, part is like a beast every... No, that's the opposite of Mim Shugal. Do you know how many 20s out of 20s I got in exams? I never I hate parties. I'm an AoE2 caster. Do you think I was partying at night? I mean, some AoE casters are partiers. I do like a lot of socialization, but I hate night parties. I really... It's not like... Like, I'm a very social guy. I keep going to events, going to meet people. There's something... Like, I never found nightlife appealing. Nothing against those who do. But if I can choose between, like, going to a party or staying at home with 2 friends, playing a board game while having a drink and some peanuts, and then, like, once it's midnight, we say... Okay, sleep is important. Let's all go back home and have a nice health. Like, I feel so horrible when I don't sleep a good night. Sleep that it's like, it was never worth it. You can't hate nightlife as an AoE caster. Hello, Rogar LP. Not everybody has a ton of people. A LAN party, true. LAN parties were great. I remembered my 2 favorite LAN parties were Warcraft 3 and Empire Earth. At my PhD, we'd have a fridge with... Okay, I need to move my mouse. With cold beer in the office, sometimes all you needed was a beer at 7 PM and then go night shift on your paper. Oh, I was never a night worker. Like, even during the PhD, I never did long nights. Okay, back into the game. Oh, let me just say, AoE casters, LAN parties are great. Yes, yes, yes. Both players are on the way to Imp. Sometimes Byzantines can have a great advantage on Imp timing. Not this time. And not spotting that castle is huge. Because this is a very good aggressive castle. If this castle was not here, they're both on the way to Imp. Berbers will have traps from uphill advantage. I think this castle is a 10 out of 10 without that there. With that castle there, this is a small mistake in my opinion. Lack of information. And now we see even a castle here with a lot of villagers. And with 2 castles versus 1. Even though Zidane is slightly behind in eco and losing villagers, I prefer Zidane's position in this game. But yeah, for me, even if I had deadlines and papers and things, I would never... I was like... If I had a deadline, I would be like, okay, I prefer failing than doing an all-nighter. Most I could do was be like up until 2 AM. After that, I would crash. I think the main reason why I'm not sick anymore now is just because I have less stress. Stress is a killer. And this castle is still not up. But so many rests have been invested. Ooh, and now the... Really, Zidane Titanium loser is something for their CV. We see no ballistics there, but we see the trap now. Yeah, this castle ended up being a small blunder. God's Prisoner, though, does have the military lead and did a better job at booming, and that booming will start kicking. We do see 5 relics. Where's the 6th? I like how here we just got a conversion. I was an insomniac when I was younger, now I'm normally asleep. Yeah, that's my rarest thing. It's like, my rarest talent is not being a caster who doesn't like nightlife. I'm the streamer with probably the most healthy sleep schedule. I go to bed, I fall asleep in like 5 minutes, and then I sleep for 8 hours, and I wake up refreshed in the morning. That's so rare. Inside and outside of streaming. We do see the Byzantines already have their bombard cannons on the field. I'm seeing... Do they have anything... Oh, they have Greek fire that can give increased... Oh, that's Brahmins and bombard towers. I don't think they have anything special for their bombard cannons, but this will turn into a gunpowder battle. I'm surprised that Berbers don't have chemistry yet. Because yes, traps are nice, but bombard cannons counter traps, and you need an answer to these crossbows. This is a very scary mess of units. We do see... Is this castle too late? Yeah, castle... I like the castle being cancelled there. Oh yeah, I'm the anti-DZ. 100%. I know how DZ's sleep schedule is. Mine is not like that. This is a really good play. You cannot fight this head on. What you need right now is time, and these players are eggs. Eggs! Who created this lobby? There should be no relic victory. That's also info you are giving to your opponent. Got to prefer red. Yeah, right now I prefer red because he already has such a strong standing army. These are now ARBs. Massive cavaliers for the Berbers though. What they will probably do is, if they notice, they will eject the relics before they gain the victory. Massing some cavalier. Ballistics on the way for God's Prisoner. Those bombard cannons are having the time of their life. 6 relics ejected. And that was one of Zidane's advantages, who just got nullified. And these bombard cannons can just... target everything, and I like the targeting of the TC. I don't know if he probably sees the castle, but I like targeting the TC first. It's very annoying for your opponent to lose the production. What are the way? How can player win the game? Guess one is complete annihilating the opponent, and the others keep all the relics for some time. Okay, let me just go out to this battle, and then I will talk about that. Nice engagement there, nice surround. I think there's enough arbs to clear the Cavalier though. But look at the KD. This was a good fight out of the Berbers. Their Cavalier are cheaper, and arbs did number, and this will be a total clear. Cleared out the bombard cannons, waited for the right numbers, and what Zidan needed was time to fight back. He retreated, waited for the time, and now he's just rebuilding his base. Exactly. Okay. In regular Age of Empires, there's 3 main win conditions. Relics, Wonder, and Domination. Domination is destroying every single one of your opponent's buildings, and it's a slog. What usually happens in tournament settings is that players have only Domination turned on, so the only actual win condition is destroying every single building your opponent has. And villager and things like they can't be able to produce anything. And what usually happens is that games end, it's like go via a quote-unquote social contract. 99.9% of games end because one player resigns. The win condition that exists is non-viable. It is way too much of a hassle. And I'm not a fan of that at all. And there was recently a drama that I won't go into in much detail because other people are doing a better coverage, specifically Memb's video should be your best source for that drama. But I think one of the reasons for that drama is a flaw in the game design itself, which is that our win condition in tournament is only a social contract. And that's why, even though some people didn't like the time on Red Bull Wololo, I really love the time limit win condition, which was that after 1 hour and 15 minutes, whoever had the most score would automatically win the game. That's an alternate win condition. It doesn't have to be that one, but I feel like Age of Empires should have viable win conditions that aren't just social contract or a slog. I understand that the social contract works for most times, but I feel like I'm against that being the only method. There is one thing you can see about Red Bull is boring games. Wait, Red Bull didn't have... Oh, do you think they were boring? I really enjoyed Red Bull Wololo. Okay, what thing's going to score? That's the thing. Score, well, we have... I should be also covering the game. We have here, the unit copies now Pike, Halb versus Hand Cannoneer and Bomber. I prefer the Byzantines unit comp here. They did not have boring games. Yeah, exactly. I agree. The Hand Cannoneers are such a powerful late game unit. There's a lot of skirms though, and you should just keep spamming skirms. Do Berber skirms have full upgrades? They do. Not chemistry isn't in yet, neither is a final armor, but you should get them and fight these. Those bombard cannons are your biggest threat. So score is calculated by a lot of things, like your KD, your eco, how much of the map you explored, how many buildings you've produced, how many buildings you've destroyed, how many techs you've researched. I think score should be used as an alternate win condition, but sometimes score is calculated unfairly. I think they should alter how the score calculation works, and then use score more as a win condition in specific events or maps. Like if it's this map, then score is a win condition. We do see the castle is going down. These are 5 bombard cannons, and in this type of match, they each have a goal for the engagements. And the main target for Zidane is clearing these bombard cannons. There are some 7 Cavalier on the field. The Pike are not halbs yet. The Byzantines do have access to halb, but they haven't get the upgrade, so the Cavalier can dive into the Bombard Cannons, and losing those Bombard Cannons, one of the most expensive units in the game, that is... Yes, I agree. There were games in specific where the player who was losing the game clearly won on score tiebreaker. And that shouldn't be the case if score is better calculated. It is hard to get an accurate calculation, but I think it is possible. There were some raids going on, like this is... I'm talking about score and everything because I want to engage in chat, but this is being a banger of a game. Raids everywhere. Lost some villagers here. Zidane lost some villagers here to this raid, but I think he was raiding here this goal. And his win condition right now, he took down the Bombard Cannons. He can starve his opponent out of gold. Byzantines only have this gold and this gold right now. And Byzantines are one of the best trash thieves in the game. No, you can ask. It is my duty. It is your duty to ask and to be informed. It is my duty to pace myself on how I answer. And it is a pleasure to answer. That's also why I'm doing. And chat is also engaged in answering. Because we like people interested in our game of Age of Empires. And... yeah, the win condition for blue, he has a great army, a lot of mobility. Byzantines have great trash. They win if this comes down to a trash versus trash. However, Byzantines have no access to trash. Zidane has these two castles, he still has a lot of gold. If it's gold versus good trash, gold will beat the good trash. Those Cavaliers will raid like there's no tomorrow. Oh, this trap. Ooh, the final shot. Taking down that DC will make the micro more annoying. One day, that's a good call, Jack. One day I wonder if it's online, like the exact formulation of how score is calculated. I'm curious about that. Res in the bank, like how many res you have stored also counts. I'm aware of that. This DC goes down. He... probably since he's winning the top side of the map, decided, okay, removing there is not efficient. All we have there is food and a little bit of stone. I think this is all of the Byzantine gold. Oh, Relic Victory is enabled by mistake. I think he is garrisoning the relics to reset the counter. Because it shouldn't be on. It is on, but it shouldn't. The players did a little bit of an oopsie. Oh, there is this one tile of gold, and we can see that the Byzantines are desperate for gold. I prefer Zidane's position right now. Just because of gold control. A lot of casters have said, and after this game, I'm inclined to agree, that this map is just whoever gets castle in this hill wins. I've seen casters say that, and now I can see that suffering from success. Yeah. And the army, and the another thing, by getting the heals, not only do you have access to all of those res, you're also fighting a downhill battle. The terrain for Age of Empires is not only aesthetic. We see another castle, and that's the thing. You have the castles on the hills, you have access to stone, you get more castles on the hills. And you have here an unsiegeable position while you control 6 relics. The relics are a bit exposed, and I think a relic heist would be a good plan. Because that's another thing, relics are not only a win condition, they generate gold over time. Byzantines are starved for gold, and they have 0 relics. These relics have already generated almost 4,000 gold. If the 6 relics go to the Byzantine side, then that they may be one of the small edges that they need. Yes! Basically, Jack, units that are uphill deal more damage to units that are downhill, and units that are uphill take less damage from units that are downhill. And the same goes for buildings. So there is advantage. Oh, the full surround, that's a beautiful engagement. This could be the game here. Full surround from the Cavalier, they are targeting the bombards. The bombards go down, the skirms are horrible versus this. There's a few halberdiers there, but not enough. That's a full army clear, and God's Prisoner is quite starved for resources. He cannot remax, and we do see game 2 going for Zidane. What a set! Holding that engagement there, that was such a key moment. This engagement, like, the call here of, I will not fight, I will let you take your wins, I need to mess an army. It's so important to realize that I need time. A lot of players would conga line units to their deaths and just lose the game here. I think this is where Zidane's breakthrough strategy. It was the first mistake of God's Prisoner, was that first castle here. Zidane with a superb castle placement there. Then the second reaction castle from Zidane was also good. Like, there were 4 or 5 excellent calls out of Zidane that I think won him the game. And then here, biding his time, 22 Cavaliers still waiting for plate barding as well. If plate barding isn't in, if this upgrade isn't in, they would melt really fast. And now, look, the upgrade is arriving. This is when he engages. If he engaged earlier, he would lose. Deletes the buildings. This was such a good play from Zidane. And clears all of this expensive army. Grabbing the relics early on was also a good play. I think Zidane played this match. I think he deserved the win here. A lot of good decisions, grabbing the relics. Even sniping the Veil here early on. Jack follows me for the other game that I play. Go, the board game of Go. And he's new to the world of Age of Empires, so I do like to explain the game to new viewers. One day I have a stream. I have a stream plan where I will be really targeting newcomers to the game of Age of Empires, probably after TTLC is over. But GG, Zidane with a few good calls. Which of the players is faster? Like, for example, here we saw, if you have a plan, you don't have to be that fast. He clicked the units in. It's like, okay, I have a plan, delete, delete. It wasn't a real, like, this wasn't a micro dance. This was just good decision making. You don't have to be fast to do a play like this. You just have to think well. So GG. And also God's Prisoner did play well, but I think he did have the best. I think it was Zidane played well. Sticking this castle in was really good. God's Prisoner, if he sees this castle, he probably drops his own castle here to get the uphill battle and then tries to imp win. But GG, well played. This was a really cool match. I think I did a good bell. I yapped a little bit too much doing my own self-analysis, but I think I've also highlighted how cool this match was. Exactly, there are patterns you'll notice from observing. Like, I have a lot of that in Go as well. Some viewers who watch a lot of my streams, they never learn the rules, but they're like, oh, I start to understand how the game flows. And that's a good way to learn. So we are 1-1 in this match of David versus Goliath. We are 1-1. David has struck Goliath's shin after a misunderstanding where he had a false David and a false Goliath. Now we had match number 2 going for David. Now it's God's Prisoner's turn. I would go for African River. So God's Prisoner was the one who picked African River and High Tide. It makes sense because Stranded and Zimbabwe are weird maps. If I'm the underdog, I would go for the weird maps. If I'm God's Prisoner, I would go for African Rivers. Which of the Civs? Dravidians? Maybe I would say Dravidians for Strander. Romans on African River versus... Way? I'm going to say Romans versus Way on African River. We're getting you hooked. It is African River. And it is Romans on one side. I got the other wrong, and I'm surprised. It's not Way. I'm surprised that it is Maya, because Maya are good here, but I would save Maya for Stranded. Maya are really good in Stranded. And hello everyone, welcome back to T90 Titans League Community Edition. This is the losers bracket of the Titanium Division. Is this a bugged map? Is this a bugged map, Spawn? I interrupted my flow. Shouldn't this be equally distance? Is any map scripter or admin here? I mean, the set has been played and the rule is... Okay, there's already chaos going on. God's prisoner? Damn, so close and loses his scout. Zidane, the underdog, going for the aggression. And laming. Oh, and there's no loom, you cannot fight. Oh, what a start out of Zidane. There's still no loom. The scout can fight that. Lames all the animals. And that's a good thing about the Maya, because Maya you can get loom early on. That's a lot of bullying, exactly. Really good start out of the Maya. This is exactly the start you want for this map. Let me just confirm. Do I have... Okay, I'm going to pause for a bit. I want to confirm their elos. Like, double confirm. Let me go to the source. Important links. Brackets and standings. Participants. Yeah, God's prisoner is the... Okay, I have the elos right now. Because this start from Zidane made me doubt myself. Let me resume the action. Mouse? Okay. Exactly, Jack. Those are the players' helos. So here Zidane is clearly an underdog, and that's why I was so surprised. Because that was a banger of a start. And you need it against the Romans. True, but you are Maya. Romans have great infantry. Maya have great archers. Maya are one of the civs that can face the Romans, and their archers are cheaper. You can get that ball, that mess that you need faster than other civs. Let's see how things develop. Okay, and I was talking about the map gen. These spawns... The game for me is two colors matching, but I can understand the numbers. Yes. Like the numbers in UI. Yeah. These spawns are often like north, south, east, west. These two ponds are very close, and it makes it so that fishing ships from here have an easier time at... Yeah, if you drop a dock here, you won't find anything. I mean, I think this is normal, because, like, these two are behind this TC, these two are behind this TC. It feels weird. I haven't cast African Rivers enough. This feels like a weird gen. Gold behind, stone behind this. And that's the thing, whenever you need our base is always there. He's the admin who is always present, except when you need him. That's the one time our base isn't here. I will ask later in the Discord of the tournament. Again, no low idle TC time. The Mayas. That's the thing also. The Mayas start with an extra villager. It is one of their sieve advantages. They start with less food but an extra villager. And they killed... Oh, they didn't kill a villager, they killed a scout. And lamed a lot of eco. Ooh, going for water a little bit later, that's why the eco is ahead for the Romans. In maps that you have water, often the standard balance gets a little bit wonky, the standard build orders. And getting to water first is very powerful, and this is God's Prisoner's home map, so he probably knows how to do those hybrid openings very cleanly. Fishing ships on the other side, and they will both click to Feudal Age at roughly the same time. No barracks yet. I do wonder if we're going to see a barracks right away, and then militia or not. Place there in this map, because this map, you always start with the TCs here in the center. They start very close together. You can see that the borders of their arrows are almost touching. And that's the thing, he can push in ostriches and gather them because he has a scout. These ostriches are just decaying. And we see Romans on gold, and we see barracks. So... Oh, it is slightly on the water. You are correct, the 1100. This is a weird gen. I'm going to reach out to the admins just to ask. Because it's not just to ask, it's because T-West and everyone works so hard in scripting the maps and making sure that they work properly. And reporting weird gens can help them find lapses in the code. Like, it's actually... you're not being annoying by reporting flaws in the maps. You're actually providing them with valuable information. Oh, go have lunch, go have lunch. Hope you have a nice, tasty lunch. I had salmon with mushrooms and potatoes for dinner. Really yummy. And we do see the archery range. And those men-at-arms are just standard men-at-arms. Some sieves get stronger men-at-arms from the get-go, like Japanese or Celts or Vikings. Roman men-at-arms are the strongest ones if you get the upgrade. And by the way, I'm so happy that water is getting changed and the water garrison is becoming weaker. Dogs will be not fire arrows in Dark Age and then get progressively stronger. They will still fire arrows in Feudal but weaker. So it will be an incremental thing, and I like that. The archer here will have a very good time versus those men-at-arms. And the thing about archers is that you can start snowballing the numbers. God's Prisoner is already in the follow-up, adding the skirmishers to help deal with the archers. The Eagle Scout did spot the archery range in the flag, so he knows there's things there, just doesn't know what is there and how many of them. We see a defensive Hulk. Yes, I did see both of Viper's videos. Really good videos. And I saw one of the comments that I found really funny. That it was, oh, if you have a problem with the game, don't say thanks Neely anymore, now say thanks Viper. But I really enjoy those videos, and I think Viper... It's one thing to have good ideas, and Viper has good ideas, but also has the quality to formulate and expose those ideas in a productive way, which is another skill, and Viper has both of them. OD1 fast. I finally have Friday morning free, so I can at least try to join T90's commie games. Let's go! Hope you can get rigged in. You know that T90 has our base locked in the basement, and he decides who joins or not the community games. I hope our base picks you. All of those things like Discord commands and everything, those are all fake. Ooh, a naked fire galley? In the current water meta is a risk. All I mentioned nearly for is the funny. A lot of players underestimate this play of adding outposts around your opponent to lock in the vision, know what they are doing, finding the targets. I need to do that, more of that when I play myself. But we do see the Maya player, Zidane, is clearly weaker right now. Almost no military with a tower here that's not that strong. But he has clicked up to Castle Age. Current objective, survive. If you're Zidane, you want to reach Castle Age with an eco that's not horrible. You are the first to click up, but that's all you have going for you. You need to make the most out of that advantage. And we see a lot of villagers on stone. Could be a castle for and plumed archers. Could be for more towers as well. But a lot of his eco is idle, and I think you need to... I think you need to take that hit. You need to accept that you will have idle economy, because it's more important to keep it alive than working right now. The difference will only be 1 minute though for Castle Age. That's not enough of a window that you can completely shake this game. And I feel like the Mayas, with such little work efficiency, because God's Prisoner has his eco working flawlessly, even winning on water. Oof, I think this is spiraling out of control. And the towers are going up, true, but they are not that powerful. And once Castle Age is in, there are a lot of answers to the towers. And this is a game when this is a map where you need to expand a lot. There's no food eco for the Mayas. I think plumes are great versus Romans, but he can't afford them. He spent all the stone in towers because he had to. He doesn't have economy to master plumes. More unit counter less unit. I think God's Prisoner won this with the pressure. Not a lot of villagers going down, but the idle economy hurt so much for so long. The lack of water, no food eco. No food eco is a game ender. He's having to use the market to buy food because he needs villagers, but that means you can't produce units. 3 eagles on the field. These are eagle scouts, they aren't eagle warriors yet to hunt down these ranged units. But the Romans already taking to what counters eagles. They already like to go militia line. And Romans are buying a castle. We saw the economy there. Bought stone. Fighting the eagles back with villagers. And where will that castle go? Each workshop. That can be a game-winning or game-losing castle. I think it will be a game-winning one, but we'll see. There's enough units there and villagers to help fight the eagles. Eagles are buying you time, though, as the Maya. Problem is the eco, so scrappy, and the castle goes here. Igaleman Ragi. Hello, become in love. Hello. Igalos. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, this castle will go up. I mean, the mango, that's not a lot of villagers building. This is gonna be a game-losing castle. I think that's enough. The mango should pop off on this side and then send a volley right to the... Oh, mango pops up there. Oh, not a good target. You need to target the villagers. Nice shot there. All of the units are clumped up. That's a mango dream. Ooh. Okay, this is Zidane's opportunity into the game. Okay, and I think he doesn't have enough economy. Like he couldn't. He could click another mango, but now the castle goes up. And Centurions will soon be in the field. See another TC there? Maybe the match isn't over. Maybe I was... And no... The timing of that, maybe the match isn't over. GG. And look, I really like how both of the players are not ridiculously fast. I can play at that speed because I love to destroy the notion that speed is the only thing that matters in RTSs. Because you see, for example, sometimes the StarCraft pros, you see them. Doubt is one of the best players in Age of Empires, and he's not that fast. And here we saw the players, they are not that fast. They just know what to do and play well. And GG's called, and God's Prisoner is ahead. Yo too, exactly. I like how Yo, when his match against Viper on an interview in Red Bull Wololo, he basically said, "Oh, I played horribly, but now, Viper played horribly, but I played even worse. That's why I lost." He was like, Viper played so bad. Viper was horrible in that set, but I was even more horrible. God's Prisoner now. Oops. Not removing the logo. Is 1 win ahead of moving to the grand finals of the losers bracket of Titanium. You can be king of the losers of the Titanium bracket. Yo is great. And I know even outside of Age of Empires, I know a lot of people who consider Yo their favorite Age of Empires player. They don't know a lot about the scene, but just from interviews and his attitude and everything, they're like, Yo is my favorite. I want Yo to win all sets. The Romans are such a good sieve, and Mayans are strong and had a great start, but now you lost Mayans for Stranded, which is one of your home maps. I wonder if he has another strategy plan, because I think Mayans on Stranded would be great, and I hope Zidane wins this and we have a 5 match set. With 300 deal discrepancy, going to a game 5 is quite a feat. And okay, we are going for Stranded for sure. Oh, or it could be High Tide. Sometimes when players are behind, they know, okay, if I have to win them all. So let's go on the harder one first, but I will go for Stranded. And with the remaining sieve, I would maybe go Koreans, question mark. Way? No, I think Way would maybe be better on High Tides. Koreans weirdness on Stranded, like towers and such, versus Dravidians. I'm going to go Koreans versus Dravidians on Stranded. The 2 skirm sieves. Let me load up the match as soon as my mouse works. Okay. Oh, let's go. I got the players wrong at the start, but at the elos, but at least I'm getting all of the sieves. It is indeed Koreans versus Dravidians. It is indeed Stranded, and it is indeed game number 4 of this best of 5 series. In the blue color, we have our underdog who already took 1 match. We have Ruidadin Zidane, who is leading the Koreans. And in the red color, we have God's Prisoner in the command of the Dravidians. Ooh. Not having the dock. Wait, where's the fishing ship? Oh, it's there. It's there. Okay, it's okay. I was gonna say another bug, chat. No. Not having the dock early is a choice. Because here a lot of players add the dock so the fishing ship can start working earlier. And I do wonder if this is a planned strat, if he does already have a plan. The Dravidians can be quite aggressive. They get the wood aging up, they have cheaper infantry upgrades. I do wonder if he has a specific plan, or this is Zidane's home map. Some players prepping for these tournaments are like, okay, I will be good at the neutral maps. I will dominate my own maps. I will prepare them, and then I will accept losses on some maps because I can prepare them all. And maybe God's Prisoner was like, oh, I have a fishing ship, and then it was like, oh, I should have placed the dock down earlier, because that's not usually what you do sometimes. Getting the dock this earlier in some maps doesn't bring you that much advantage. In this one it does, because of the fishing ship. And you can see the difference in dress collected already here in favor of the Koreans. I wonder if this is like the two possibilities are opposites. It's either a planned strategy or it's lack of preparation. Either genius or a small blunder. Let me adjust my sitting position. That's the most important thing in casting and in playing. Yeah, this is stranded. You have a ring of gold in the transition between sand and grass. You have a ring of stone where there's only one tile stone scattered around, making castle play and tower play more complicated, which can harm the Koreans slightly. And you have this hill in the middle, which makes like a lot of these maps favor the attacker. You're the aggressor. This is reverse Quarry in that regards. Quarry is the map where the defender is really happy, always fighting uphill. Here it's the opposite. You are the aggressor, you are the one uphill, and defending this map can be quite rough. In Feudal Age, there's not a lot you can do, because the TC covers the gold, covers your food, you have water, you can garrison. Usually you go fast castle in this map, and then it's siege time. And if you're in siege wars and you have the hill, you'll be very happy. Dravidians do have cheaper siege weapons. Yes, and they have a lot of wood. Koreans, they have the Hwacha, the rocket carts, which I really like to micro Hwacha versus Mangles. They are different, but I really like how the Hwacha feels. And I've seen one of them in real life. In a museum in Korea, the Korea War Museum, they did have a Hwacha there, one of the rocket carts. I've also seen a turtle ship, but it was slightly smaller. I say slightly smaller because it was still gigantic, but I don't think it was actual 1-to-1 scale. Still impressive though. We do see though that probably because of some dock idle time, the Dravidians are ahead in eco units. Yeah, it is the dock difference. And we saw in one of the previous maps that... in the previous map, not one of the previous, that Zidane didn't have a great time on water. So I think this water is just here to fuel the castle age timing. Then you can add some turtle ships to just easily be strong in water without a lot of investment. And then it's all coming down to the micro and everything. Preemptive walls here quite forward, making sure he doesn't have to fight that uphill army. That's those are some bold walls. This is Iran's home map. He wants to win this. It's like that's the thing. This is the losers bracket, true. But think about it. You're one match away from reaching the grand finals. Not of the winners bracket, but they're still honored to be gaining here. And both of these players want that position. And they are playing a really good set so far. In the previous match, that opening by Ziran, and his moments in getting some snowballing leads, but God's Prisoner is more clean on the mechanics. Adding the second dock now, going for a greedier boom. The mag walls out of Zidane here. I'm like, how are the Dravidians already ahead in wrestling? Second dock as well for the Koreans. A little bit closer together. making it more defensible but less efficient in fishing some of those scattered salmons and dorados. Salmon was my dinner. And my lunch. Double salmon day. And Zidane does have a very late... no need to brag, 11. Hello, Natty Longshanks. Welcome, welcome. Very late, so... A very greedy... fast castle. Still hasn't clicked up to feudal. He likes the building. Will he realize that? He likes a building. He only has the docks. He places the barracks out now. I mean, he will reach like castle age with a superb economy. That's such a delayed timing. And Dravidians are a fast sieve at going on the aggression. We already see archery range. The fast castle can be fast punished. Yeah, queues up feudal now. Yeah, moves a lot to wood to get the 2 buildings down later. These archers, the walls will be very useful here though. That's the one, yeah, he's fully walled. And like the wood line, the archers can't range the wood line. It's perfect. What a masterpiece. Dravidians though, a lot of water. Have a fire galley on the way and some hulks. Finds a forward villager. Happy salmon day, let's go, crab. We see 1 archer forward. No more archers. Okay, this is good awareness. Probably wanted to build a lot of archers, realized the opponent is fully walled. And Zidane can just plop down 2 buildings and go straight to castle. Lacks a little bit of food, but if one of the buildings is the market, you can just place it down. That's a lot of wood. And I want to castle into what? Siege? Yeah, the navy will crumble. Not that much of a navy though, only 4 fishing ships. If the game goes too long, it will hurt. And this will... Okay, so he will transition into archers. But God's Prisoner balanced the eco and he's first to click up to Castle Age. The buildings were enough of a delay. So Zidane right now doesn't have much going for him. He's behind 1 kin res collected. Oh, it's like a double beat-axe. Double beat-axe, better efficiency in fishing. All of those small things pile up. Dravidians, do they have any other bonus? Oh, fisherman and fishing ship carry plus 15, of course. That's what's happening. More fish and that bonus. That makes it so that gathering from further away is more efficient. And a lot of these fish are quite far away. So it's all of these combined. It is double pickaxe, it is more fishing ships, and it is that bonus that I forgot. So maybe Zidane also forgot. Maybe not, because he's higher reload than me. But I completely forgot about that bonus. And the thing is, what scares me now is as Koreans, you go castle age into what? Because towers and or castles with war wagons are some of the Koreans' choices. They are both out of the picture. He can go for he can reclaim water with triple turtle ship production. I would like to see that. Reclaiming water with triple turtle. We see medium warship on the way. We see long swordsman. So this will be infantry play out of the Dravidians. They do have cheaper infantry. And do we see turtle? Yes! Q3 turtle ships, win the water, and then focus on land. I like that play. I think the 3 turtle ships will clear all of this navy. They are so powerful. God's prisoners so efficient with clearing all the upgrades. That's what you see on high-low players. They have their eco already balanced so that once they age up, they are ready to click all of those upgrades. And turtle ships are so cool. Not only are they strong, they're just a cool unit. Random bullshit, go! You want cannonballs? Take cannonballs, take fireworks. And the whole navy is just crumbling. They are slow, but steady. And so tanky. Ooh, this will all melt. Oh, miss micro. Ah, loses 1 extra ship. They're probably focused here. And we do see it's siege play, siege and skirm. But if the long swordsman, if they get close to the siege, will just shred them. So I think you need some scorpions just to help deal with this long swordsman. Or some monks. Monastery play wouldn't be bad. Oh, they are kind of bad monks, but they have sanctity. No redemption though, so not that good of a monks for the Koreans. You need to be careful here, and now that's the problem. You're on the defense, you're fighting uphill. Ooh, nice save there. And the Dravidian economy is still unpunished on water. Idle TC time also went up for the Koreans because of all of the chaos going on. And yeah, the fact that you're fighting uphill, ooh, makes this a lot harder for the Koreans now. You do see some transition into CA. And we do see, ooh, no, I don't think you need to add more turtles. I think you really need to focus on the land. I think 2 or 3 turtles are all ready to win. Like instead of 6 turtles, I would rather see more CA. Like another archery range and more CA. Because you need units on land. Now a monastery, like the pressure out of the Dravidians is so fierce. And the turtle ships are not fighting the good targets. Because there's too much going on. Yeah, this is... Now it's... I often say that speed isn't relevant and things like that, or like isn't the most important thing. Now it's a time where Zidane would need to look at 5 or 6 places at the same time. He is even not a villager count. Was that all? Oh, these 12 fishing ships went down here. Let me rewind just a little bit. I want to capture this moment with capture age. Yeah, well, we were looking at land. And this is a good call. This already even out the unit count. Well, all of that action is happening on land. Look at how fast they all shredded. This is the Korean dream on water. Damn, evening out the field count, the eco count with 1 fell swoop. The problem is this army. Turtle ships, let's go. If you're a turtle ship fan, that's the moment for you. I even rewinded it for you to see. Siege workshop is... Yeah, you need a second siege workshop. And the thing is, okay, he was pushed away from the center, but here you're fighting on flatlands. So you can have better engagement. Like siege versus siege, all matchups are hard. Fighting uphill, siege versus siege is the worst. And this table won't go up on time. Like 1 Korean knight would be enough to just walk around and snipe those mangoes. Siege workshop isn't producing because the eco is a mess. Forced you to relocate. Does have the number of TC advantage, and eco units are even. The thing is, can Zidane stop this death ball? This mango will probably go down for free now. Complete victory on water. Zidane is still in this game. Things look dire, but he is losing 1 TC, but he's fighting against 1 TC. So I don't think losing this TC is game ending. I think you fall back at towers. Red still has 10 more villagers. True. Oh, okay, the tower does go up. Yeah. You need to fall back. So the long swords will be very strong versus the towers. And there's not enough land military. And villagers are crumbling. You can't afford to lose a lot of villagers. Nice. Go back. Ooh, all of those villagers are low. Except one. The watch does get exacted. He has a nice volley, but he's... And it's so hard. Because you need time. You need space. You need eco. You need gold. A third siege workshop, and siege workshops are so expensive. Complete domination on water. But land is looking stark, and whoever wins land wins the game. Just losing these villagers, that's a good call out of God's Prisoner as well. To not overcommit to an aggressive push. Boo was just too slow and not aggressive enough. Yeah, I think it was like, and this was great on water, but like winning water completely. But he needed, if he had to siege workshop, like two rocket carts when the mangoes arrived. I think it was, or like the stable that was cancelled. If he can get knights on the field, he could snipe those mangoes. The timing was rough. I don't think it was too slow. I think it was slightly lower to a fatal degree on land. And also the execution, like the lack of building. He wasn't too passive because he was forced into a defensive position, which was different. There was a lot of pressure out of God's Prisoner, and his delayed castle age timing. Yeah, because God's Prisoner was first to add some units in feudal, then was slightly first to castle, and then in this map it's hard to get back control from the map. Wow, even targeting the docks with the units there. And yeah, like these mangoes, 11 kills on these mangoes. And GG's called, well played. I think it was really the heal. I think God's Prisoner being slightly ahead. Like, because here, like, military count is still even. And the infantry just arrived and there wasn't enough numbers. And like, this is where things start going out of control. Because that mango just had good shots everywhere. And also the Dravidian... It's true that the Dravidians lost all their fishing eco. But Dravidian fishing eco is so powerful that we can see that already 2k res ahead. So it was punished. But as you said, Natty Longshanks, maybe a bit too late. And that's the thing also. 50 versus 30. Yeah, even in military. Yes. Yeah, the turtle ships now, like if we advance like 1 minute, the eco gets even, but then the land, like the uphill battles. Maybe like the CA, I think he struggled to find a plan on land. Maybe just regular archers, like regular crossbow would have been better than the CA here. Maybe like we saw the tower play being efficient. Maybe if the towers were added here, keep this TC alive. And I think also the delay here. Here, his feudal age, what delayed his castle age was his feudal age. And what delayed his feudal age was the barracks. I don't think he wanted to delay, like it was the nerves and game 3 and everything. And he's like, oh, it's a nomad map. I have no lumber camp. I have no mining camp. I have a dock, but And he had to wait for the barracks to click up, and I think that delayed his entire game plan in a snowballing way. Because he was greedier in the build order. The Dravidians added like more military and things like that, even though they have extra resources to pay for that. This was a greedier approach, and he was still later because of the Dravidian. Also, Dravidians are very strong. I think that also played a role here. GG. Really cool set. And now God's Prisoner is in the grand finals of the loser bracket. Let me see if he already has the other finalist. It's like finalist? Finalist? How do you say that word? If he already has his opponent decided. GG, well played. And this, by the way, this was my final set of today. Today is just a single set stream because I am traveling tomorrow and I'm a responsible person, so I want to have a good night of sleep before the travel. And also I think there's something nice about short streams. Of course, I prefer doing long streams, and it is fun and everything, but just having a short stream, just enjoying one game sometimes is enough. Let me check the brackets. Where's the important links? Have to scroll all the way down to the losers bracket. Oh, no, it's a different tab. Oh, the other semi-final will be played tomorrow. Sneaky Salmon versus Ensberg. Ensberg versus Sneaky Salmon tomorrow at 2 PM GMT. But yeah, that was it for today. GG. Hope you enjoyed the match. I had really fun casting it. That moment with like my three favorite moments of the day was that beautiful engagement in Zimbabwe, where the Cavalier just took down all the arbs. I also really enjoyed in game 1 that brave Mango walking under the TC to snipe the castle villagers was an astonishing play. That was superb. Like, that was beautiful in my opinion. And then here, it wasn't that much of a great play, but it was just nice to see the turtles melting all of the fishing ships. Let me see who I have to raid. I know that Addictive Me was casting. Is he still on? Oh, he's still on. Easy choice. He's casting TTLC. Exactly. Let's raid Addictive Me. I bet he's going to be like, oh, Nando, I'm about to end the stream. I was about to raid you. Because that's how Addictive Me sounds like. Oh, sorry, Predators. I just noticed that the arrow. That bug. Why do things change? When it's me introducing a bug into the system, I don't mind. But when webs and things like that just update their systems and then introduce bugs into my things, I'm like, that was it for today. I'll be back next week. No more streams this week because of traveling and everything. Hope you had a good time. I for sure did. And I hope everyone takes care and has a nice rest of your week. Bye-bye. Have a great one. Oh, John, it went well. I only cast a single set. I did a bit of an oopsie at the start, but it was fun. It was fun. Hope you enjoyed the VOD. And if you're a VOD watcher and you're watching this, thank you for staying till this late. Thank you for following. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. I'm TheNando. Bye-bye. Have a great one.